Hello everyone, ScareTheater here. There have been many mysteries that originated on the paranormal website of 4chan, including the mysterious mouse caper and the user known by his 4chan profile name Banksy. Today, we'll be looking at one of the scariest copy posters that has been circulating around the internet as of late, posted as recently as June 8th, 2022, known only as Squarold. I will be reading this possibly true story, then giving my thoughts on the matter. Without further ado, let's jump into reading this story. A lot of people have a particular show or movie from their childhood that they'll remember in a somewhat traumatic way. But what I saw that fateful September evening was absolutely bone-shattering in nature, execution and concept. I remember sitting at home, back arched to the sky in a downward motion, sitting on my couch watching hilarious Oswald the Rabbit cartoons. I had just got home from my soccer tournament where my team won first prize and I got the MVP award, and everyone stood up and clapped and said that my dad likes me. And I wanted to unwind in my favorite way possible by watching hilarious Oswald the Rabbit TV cartoons. As I watched, laughing my effing ass off at the hilarious cartoon antics of Oswald the Rabbit cartoons, I looked to my immediate left from the couch and TV and saw the pedestal upon which the arcane instrument of my eventual downfall sat. Father had recently been hunting, not for Oswald the Rabbit, of course. Nyuk, nyuk, nyuk! For squirrels, and brought home a trophy, a squirrel of his own design, taxidermied by my Romanian aunt. Many people believe she was a black magic sorceress, but I always liked her. She gave me various baubles and trinkets at family events. As I looked at the stuffed squirrel, momentarily drawn away from the raucous action comedy of the Oswald the Rabbit cartoon, I felt a strange sensation in my pants, like a scared nervousness that I felt in my bottom. What the frick? I said to myself, but there was no one to listen, as my father and mother recently went to the store to pick up more milk, cheese, hamburger meat, hot dog, Hebrew national beef, and other milk flavor, chocolate, etc. et al. I had noticed that the pedestal, encrusted with rubies and sapphires, had a nomenclature placard written upon it that read in English letters, Squarold. I said to myself, but there was no one to listen, as my father and mother were gone, like I had said and noticed previously in the story. Still out getting milk flavors, which I think was very hard during the 2008 recession, which is when the story of Squarold takes place. The placard must have contained the squirrel's name at that time. I turned away from the squirrel, obviously in an attempt to focus on the cartoon which I was watching, which was called the Oswald the Rabbit cartoon. Funny, where Oswald the Rabbit has to go to work at the sawmill where cartoonish antics ensue. But there was something in my ear, a noise. When I heard a noise in my ear, I turned again to my right from where the couch was backwards but left from forwards. Here I saw the squirrel named Squarold. "Whoa!" I said to myself, but there was no one to listen, as my father and mother recently left to go to the store, which I disclosed to you in previous paragraphs if you're reading, haha. The squirrel's eye appeared to move and jittered in an abnormal fashion hitherto unknown to taxidermied deceased animal kind. It moved only a little bit, which made me upset, unhappy, crude feeling in nature, anxious, sad, freaked out, bad, ungood, petrified. The squirrel was moving, which I at first seemed to be a practical joke, prank from my father, but it seemed as though it wasn't, as the squirrel didn't tell me that it loved me like my father always does, haha, because if it was my dad, he would hug me and say he loved me like every time he sees me. Now I'm 39. "The squirrel moved?" I said to myself, but in all honesty, there was no one there except the squirrel, who IDK if he can hear and shit, man. He's possessed by a ghost and shit, man. The squirrel quickly hopped to its feet in a hop-like motion. Why did he do this? IDFK. Then it began to dance, the squirrel, the one named Squarold. Remember from the 4th paragraph in which I described the ruby and sapphire pedestal. Then it also sang like this.
"Hello, my baby, hello, my honey, hello, my ragtime gals, send me a kiss by wire. Baby, my heart's on fire. If you refuse me, honey, you'll lose me, then you'll be left alone. Oh, baby, telephone and tell me I'm your own."
Source Google. I looked at the Oswald the Rabbit cartoon for comfort as this simply ghost-like thing happened to me. Then, literally as I had looked at him, Oswald the Rabbit from the cartoon, known as Oswald the Rabbit except in Serbia, where it is known as Blopney the Porcupine, looked at me in a horrifying way with bleeding eyes and mouth, and said,
"I kill self,"
and literally killed himself on TV with a 600 caliber Nitro Express handgun. Source Bing. And his head exploded with blood everywhere. WTF! Exclamation point! Exclamation point! It's been years since that day. I've sought therapy, gene therapy, and other memory-altering methods that could stop me from feeling this desolate, empty, like a used condom which has not been cummed in though. Squarold eventually stopped dancing and returned to his pedestal, and Oswald came back the next day for his show, The Oswald the Rabbit Show, a cartoon from 1948, the year this story takes place. Everything went back to normal. My dad went back to telling me he is proud of me and loves me and hugging me, but my mind still saw that day, that esoteric imprint of humanity's cruelty on my medulla oblongata. What can I do except tell this story to the ones I love, even if they look at me similar to my expression when I think WTF? All I hope is that someone finds my Romanian aunt, who soon vanished after going on a train far away. She actually did legit worship Satan though. Fucked up, huh? Now, what do I think this story really means? There are multiple theories out there on the internet that suggest that this story may potentially be a critique of capitalism and consumerist society, pointing to the story's repetition of the name of the show, The Oswald the Rabbit Show. However, this story is also possibly real. There is no evidence proving that it is fake, and various details such as the author's age and his father's realistic reaction to his own son provides ample evidence of its truth. The story cannot be traced back to the owner, as the author appears to have posted the story from a burner 4chan account, and attempts to privately message the account have received no response. Squarold is one of the most mysterious 4chan ghost stories out there, and its mysterious nature provides many fans with scares to this very day. Maybe someday Squarold will be found, but it doesn't look like that is the case.